trying to get the deal.
Right.
They get one deal out of 20. They make 10K and life is good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so,
look, whatever.
And I'm obviously joking with you, but about being your fault, but that is what it is. If you're going to be learning how to speak with agents and submit offers with agents, follow exactly what Jamil tells you to do. Exactly.
There's a cadence. It's a tennis match, right? And at the end of the day,
there is a presentation to it.
100%.
You can't just go out there and improv dance your way through some, ultimate contest. Can
somebody please make an?
You know what I mean?
Can someone please make an interpretive dance video about agent outreach?
Oh my gosh!
If it's good, I'll pay you $1,000 and I'll put it on my channels.
But that's what it feels like. It feels like just going and trying to.
I need this.
Trying
right
to get it right. Trying to get it done. So follow if you're going to learn that. Right? You guys learn from it. It works. You guys can build a solid, predictable business doing that. But the people that are just going out there and submitting offers to agents and backing out on these offers give everybody a bad name with agents.
Or they just like pepper spray, or they just pepper an agent with an offer. There's no conversation. There's no rapport building.
There's no comps.
There's nothing. It's just a low offer. It's just an email with a low offer attached. Hey, offer attached. Hey, agent, offer attached. And they look at that number and they're like, no way in heck am I going to call my client and go to bat for you on this number without any justification or idea how I'm going to even present this story.
Here's another one.
They're not going to do it.
Here's another one. There's literally training people out there that go, if you submit these offers, the hedge funds will buy them all.
People are still training on that?
Of course. Listen.
Wow.
Listen, there's a lot of training out there where it's like, people don't want to do the hard work. So just sell them what they want to hear. And
you want to hear the most scammy training I've heard recently.
Yeah.
Somebody's out there charging $100,000. They charged, it was like 25 people. They charged $100,000 to for a done for you wholesale business.
Yep.
And it's like a lifelong thing. They're like, oh, it's lifelong. We'll basically run the whole thing for you. They haven't even had a phone call in 6 months since they all signed up. There's no course. There's no education. There's no contracts. There's nothing. They send like a video email update once a week of like, hey, we're going to get started on it. Hey, we're going to get started on it. Guys, there's so many freaking scams out there, and they're big names, like big names that you guys see on social media all the time. Be freaking careful of the training that are out there. If you don't have hundreds of people saying it's legit, run for the hills, my friends. I'm telling you, the whole like, oh, let me just now, what's funny about this? The LOI blasting, you'll still get deals. You will still get deals. But what you can't do is you can't complain that the agents are not building relationships with you and they're cranky. If you're going to go that strategy, just know what you're getting into. You are going to piss a lot of people off. But here's my strategy. Okay. This is the most simple agent outreach thing ever. Okay. I look at Jamil. I think Jamil and Jerry Norton are the best at agent conversations. Jamil has built the largest wholesale business in the industry out of direct to agent and, co-wholesaling for wholesalers. So I take a lot of pages out of his book, but I do it kind of with my own spin because I am my own person, as you guys all should do your own thing.
Right.
All I do is I think this, okay? And I do this for the sub 2 cents. I go, all right, guys, I'm just going to call agents on long days on market. And the only thing I'm attempting to do in this phone call, I'm not trying to close a deal. In fact, I should try not to close the deal. All I'm going to do is build a relationship with this agent that makes them think, I want to send that guy another opportunity next week or the week after. That's it. This is the Jamil method. Here's what I do. This is the only difference that I do. I actually find their profile. I print out their profile on paper. I'm old. I'm 40 years old. I do stupid old people stuff. Okay. I print out their paper and I tape it on my wall. And I don't stop calling agents until I have 50 agents that are on my wall, taped on my wall, that said they're going to send me future opportunities. All I do now, I could build Jamil, if all I did was text those agents every 2 or 3 weeks and say, what else do you have for me? How many deals would I get? Maybe once a month. And if those agents fell away and they stopped replying, then I have to replenish, but I have to have 50 agents that are in my Rolodex that are replying to me every 2 weeks. I don't have to call 50 new agents every single day if I want to. Do you think I could make $100,000, $200,000 a year just talking to the same 50 agents over and over and over?
Yeah. At least 100 grand.
Easy.
Maybe not 2, but at least 100K.
At least 100K. And you're sitting there. And how many agents could I build a relationship with? Or how long would it take for me to build a relationship with 50 agents? I'd say less than a week, 2 hours a day. I could have 50 agents on my wall taped. And I go into my office and I look at the wall and I go, all right, I'm going to text these 10 today, those 10 tomorrow. And I'm just going to stay on top of them. I'm going to do 10 text messages every day.
Bro,
that's it.
I'm doing 12 to 15 deals with Monique a month.
That's ridiculous.
A month.
Why didn't I land that deal? Why didn't I land that?
One agent. It's one agent. You tried, bro. You tried to get that relationship. Everybody did. Everyone.
I was trying to be her contractor, bro.
No, but and I love it. I love it. She'll snapshot me a little one. Bro, it's the Astro community is the worst. Don't. The Astro community are the biggest offenders because they all go after Monique Walker for whatever reason. They're like, and then she'll just snapshot their message and text it to me.
This is what happened to me. This is what happened to me with Tristan. Shout out to Tristan Trenberth. I'm gonna call him out on the live. Okay, Tristan Trenberth, sub 2 student. I bring in Rylas Dana into like it was like 6 trainings for the sub 2 student. I was like, this is my probate attorney. I'm doing deals with him. Blah 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 blah. Next thing you know, I get a call from Tristan. He's like, hey, do you want to come and see this house with me in Phoenix? I go, yeah, I'll go down there. I go down to the house. I'm like, bro, this is a great lead. Where'd you get this lead from? He's like, oh, I got him from my probate attorney. I was like, dude, that's amazing. Who's your probate attorney?
That's so good.
I was like, this is what I get for just sharing all my resources. It's like, instead of going and creating a new relationship with a probate attorney,
it's great.
Don't hate the player.
It's good.
I don't hate the player. I was like, kudos to you, bro. Let's do the deal. You deserve the relationship. And, kudos to Rylas too. Rylas is like, bro, you've been traveling around the country speaking on all these stages. You're not as available as Tristan is anymore. I was like, you are 100% right. I just think it's hilarious that people will just call the person that instead of getting the idea in their mind that there are 1,000 Monique Walkers, 1,000 people will just text Monique Walker.
They're like, dude, that's like, there's 1,000 like her. Like, that's the thing she's not even the highest volume agent in Arizona. I think she's like number 12.
Want to be.
But she's like number 12.
If she wanted to be, she would go bananas.
But she's number 12.
Yeah.
Right? So there's like
she's
11
probably the most
people.
Profitable.
Possibly. There's 11 agents doing more business than her. Right? Like, there is.
Yeah.
And there are opportunities there. I'm not doing agent outreach anymore. My team's doing it. Yeah. But, I do it live.
Do you have requirements for that?
What?
Like, when you bring on somebody new, I'm interested in this because I'm growing my team.
Yeah.
Right? And with my acquisition managers, right now it's 50 to 60 calls a day to lead follow-up.
Yep.
And I'm trying to track how much call time that they're actually on the phones.
We don't want them to be longer than 6 minutes on the call with an agent on first outreach. Longer is like, if you're getting beyond 6 minutes, you're wasting time.
Right. It's different with property owners, though.
Yeah, it's different with property owners. With agents, it's like, let's cut to it. They want to cut to the scene. Let's cut to the scene where we're making money. Let's get to the part, right? So it, a lot of the. Do
you have a minimum amount of outbound calls that they have to make?
I think it's 250 a day. 250 dials a day.
On a dialer?
But you're doing new dials is what you're talking about. Brent, you're talking about follow-up.
I'm talking follow-up. Yeah.
Okay.
So your new rep is reaching out for new dials.
Yep.
Do they also do follow-up?
Of course.
Right.
Of course.
So how does that balance? How do they balance that?
I gotta look at the stats. I gotta look at the stats and what that average looks like. But after they start, like, once you get past 30 days, you're doing an equal amount of follow-up
Yep.
as you are new outreach.
Got it.
And it just becomes this wheel you're on, right? I'm doing half my day is new outreach, half my day is follow-up, half my day is new outreach, half my day is follow-up.
Do you
and so
do you
on
have a
and so forth.
database of the agents that are already somebody like a different rep is
Everyone's
talking
tagged.
to?
Everyone is tagged and put in our CRM, and they're owned by somebody.
Right.
Now, here's the thing.
Yeah.
If that person is not spoken to in a certain amount of time,
Sure.
it pings to Hunter.
Right.
And then Hunter looks at it and says, why hasn't this agent been talked to in a month?
Awesome.
And then gets
This
up
is what I'm
and
liking.
walks over to the
I need
rep
more
and says,
accountability,
hey,
yep.
how come this list of agents haven't been talked to in a month? Okay. Well, that's your first strike.
So do you get a new list of agents as they come out each month?
Yeah, we scrape every month. We're
You
constantly scraping, yeah.
Scraping just like
Typically realtor.com.
yeah.
Yep.
For anything new.
For any new agents.
Right.
Yep.
And then so that information goes into your system and automatically dumps into
our CRM.
your
Yep.
CRM,
Yep.
and then new reps already have certain people that they can just day one, here's what you say to them.
Yep.
Here's how you
Yep.
push the button.
Yeah, and if a rep and an agent don't hit it off well, or the call is crummy, and that agent goes back into the rounds.
Sure.
So then they're like, yeah, this call was like terrible. I totally screwed this up. They hung up on me.
Do you ever remove some agents that are just absolute nightmares?
Well,
I mean, is there like an excommunicado list?
There's a DNC. But it's very short.
Yeah.
Because people's memories are short.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's like, what does it matter? What does it matter that, if somebody's like, don't call me? Well, first of all, you're a real estate agent and you've advertised yourself to be called. So like, I can call you.
Yes.
I can call you.
Yes.
And you can say you're on the do not call list as much as you want. I didn't call you at home and you ain't suing me.
Right.
So what do you want to do? You don't want to talk? No. Okay, bye. My rep will call you. My partner will call you next week. Whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Just let it go.
So when they call up, are they saying, "Hey, listen, I'm looking to buy houses"? Or are they saying, "Listen, I've got an incredible amount of investors that are looking for properties"?
No, we are a buyer, right? And so they don't call and say I represent a list of investors. They call and say we are looking to purchase.
Right.
And it's the truth.
It's just like you.
Yeah.
It's just like you reaching out to us.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're reaching out. Hey, I want to buy some properties. What do you have?
Yep.
And they're like, nothing.
I'm looking for something in original condition or needing a bunch of work before you put it on the MLS. Right. Anything you got right now, I can look at.
What's the deal with like pocket listings though?
Well, that's what I just described. It's a pocket listing.
But they can't do it, right?
Of course they can.
In Arizona?
Of course they can.
I thought they had to list it on the market.
That Maury says that is a lie.
Yeah.
That's not true. Their
broker,
Maury
Povich?
Yeah, of course.
That's awesome.
Of course. Yeah.
Old school.
Old school. Yeah, for the folks that are like millennials here, that's a show, but from back in the day where they strap people up to a lie detector and then ask them all kinds of questions.
Yeah, it was wild.
It was amazing.
Anyway, so they call them up. They're building a relationship. I'm a buyer. Send me your deals. Yep. Are they saying them with Keegley? Or are they just saying I'm me?
No, they sometimes they'll just say their name, and if they ask what company, they'll say Keegley. It is what it is.
And they say, "What are you looking for?"
Yeah, or sometimes they're like, "I don't have it right now. Yeah. I don't have anything right now." Or they'll say, "Hey, I just got a new listing," and they look at the listing and it's like, "No. See, you misheard me. This is completely remodeled. I don't buy that.
Right.
I need like the floorboards falling in. I need the roof caving in. I need that kind of deal. You know."
Do you have a list of investors to call or other wholesalers to call, or is it just agents that you're reaching out to?
It's a whole mix. It's wholesalers.
So you're scraping for wholesalers too?
Constantly.
Yeah. Woo! How about that? And then do you give a base for your reps?
They start off on a draw system, but then they move over to commission only.
Commission only.
Yep.
What's the
20%?
20% of the deal. Nice.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's really
good.
You
can give 20% because you don't have marketing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So really you just set up the system to put people in front of other people that have ugly houses they want to sell or original condition.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Or needing a tremendous amount of work.
Right.
What are you guys' thoughts on what Austin Miles has to say? What do you think, Pacer?
I've got a lot to say about that. I pulled it. I'm the one that pulled it up. I think it's a great question because I think he's mixing two conversations into one, honestly. I think it's a great question just to kind of clarify that. So, what Jamil's saying is if you are running into problems, okay, so here's the thing. If you put me on the phone, you're going to have a hard time like finding anybody better on the phone than me. It's going to be really hard. Okay. Because I build relationships. I am so good. I'm an empath. I read people incredibly well. I can tell you what your religion is, what your favorite football team is, and what you had for breakfast just by talking to you on the phone for 15 seconds. Okay. That beats any stupid script you're ever going to have. It beats every stupid thing you could even imagine. So I look at it and I can talk to the agent. I can hear in their tone. I can hear what their personality. I can tell if they're at Sotheby's or freaking Keller Williams. And because of that, I can identify when that agent's going to have a hard time hearing the word, I'm a wholesaler. Or I can also tell when an agent like Monique Walker is like, yeah, I don't care what you do with the property. I care about giving a solution to my client. That's what I care about.
Yeah.
So it's two different conversations, right? When I know that I have agents that are cool with me and wholesaling it, I tell them, hey, I represent a list of buyers. I do buy some of them myself, but I also have a handful of homies that are buying as well. I'm telling them that I'm a wholesaler. I'm perfectly fine with that. The agents are perfectly fine with that as well. Why? Because they trust me and they know that I'm going to follow through. Okay. The reason why wholesalers have a bad name, okay, why wholesaler has a bad taste is because wholesalers that are out there just sending out LOIs and they have no actual buyer, they are the ones that gave us a bad name in the industry. They're not fulfilling on what they promised. Okay. Could you imagine if every wholesaler that sent out a contract, okay, think about that. Every wholesaler that ever sent out a contract to an agent, if it was fulfilled 100% of the time in the last 20 years, would wholesalers have a bad name or a phenomenally stellar name?
Even if 50% of them closed, the name would still be would be almost stellar.
It's so what you're saying is you're saying that we don't have a problem with wholesalers. We have a problem with the wholesale industry who doesn't follow through.
Exactly.
Performance.
Exactly.
Okay, great.
Also,
okay.
agents think that we're acting as agents. It's like, they think that they're a doctor and they went to all this schooling and all this, code of ethics and everything to be a doctor. And then people are just performing surgery willy-nilly out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like
that.
And it's like a personal affront that I have this realtor button.
I do BBLs in my garage.
What is that?
Come see.
Oh, he needs one, dude.
Is that a Brazilian butt lift?
I was posting about this on my Instagram stories yesterday. I triggered a lot of people. My story basically said, you guys are expecting agents to be educated? I'm sorry. 95% of agents you will ever talk to in the past and in the future will be so uneducated. Think about this. A real estate agent needs about 60 hours of education to get a license and about $1,200. A barber who cuts your hair has to have 1,200 hours to get their license. So somebody who cuts hair has to go to school 20 times longer than a licensed real estate agent. And you guys are expecting a licensed agent to actually understand how real estate works?
Not only that, but they're not even taught how to comp pace.
Bro, how can you in 60 hours? I was going to do a whole documentary about, hey, let me break down what I learned today in my real estate school. I was going to go to school that day, kind of journal, do a YouTube video at the end of the day. Like, here's the replay. You guys want the audio of what I learned today? Show me anything that actually tells me how to be a real estate agent. You don't learn that as a real estate agent.
How many square feet are in an acre?
43,000.
Well, don't tell. If you know how many square feet are in an acre, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. We're gonna find out who these agents are real fast.
So the point of this is,
and I love
you. You are expecting a real estate agent. You're expecting a real estate agent to understand that wholesalers actually provide tremendous value to a real estate transaction. Let me think about this. Okay. Let me give you guys a little bit of food for thought. How many, Jamil, how many expired listings pop up every day in our market?
In our market?
Every day.
In Arizona. I'm going to say, okay, so we're on average listing 50 a day.
Okay. You're close. It's 40 a day average. Okay. So we get about 1,200 expired listings per month in Maricopa County alone. That's not Pinal County. That's not Flagstaff. That's not Yuma. That's not Tucson. In the state of Arizona, we get a little over 2,500 expired listings every single month in just our state. Okay. So think about the nation. And what is an expired listing? This goes back to his point, the question he's asking. Okay.
I knew Laura
The
would know.
nation.
I knew Laura would know. Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to my wife. Love
Yeah.
love that woman. So how many expired listings pop up every single day in the country? Do we know? I did the math this morning. It's 5,000 in the country, 5,000 a day. What is an expired listing other than an agent who took on a job and worked their butt off for 6 months just to get fired because they did not educate their seller? They took a listing they should never have taken. They don't know creative finance. They did not provide any solution, did not provide any value. They took on a job and did not educate their seller. So what does that tell you? If 5,000 agents a day get fired, it tells me a couple of things. Number one, I don't need another lead source as long as I live. I'm sorry if you guys like working with agents, you guys have fun with that. Agents can kiss my ass. I don't want to work with agents. It's a pathway that is very successful. It's a truly amazing pathway. I am so riddled with, oh my gosh, I have to be so patient with these children that have a license to sell people's largest asset. And then we as wholesalers are upset when they treat us like the enemy. Guys, they took 2 weeks of classes. They don't educate themselves. They're physically required to go take continued education classes. But what do? They hire virtual assistants to take the classes for them. They won't even take their classes. Okay. So
I've never heard that, Jay. That's great. 43,000.
4 men going 35 and a 65. Yeah, I love that. That's a really great way to remember that. So my point is, when you are talking to an agent, don't be upset when they're upset about you wholesaling. And so what Jamil was saying earlier was saying, hey, if you find yourself not able to build rapport because you aren't as good on the phone as Pace or Brent or Jamil or Jerry or hundreds of people in the side chat, you're not as good at that yet. What you should do is say, hey, I am a buyer, up until you run into a situation where you do have the ability to build rapport and trust within 30 seconds. If you've ever heard a Jamil call, a Brent call, a Jerry call, a Pace call, you know what the unique thing is that all four of us have? Relationship is built in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Done. Credibility, asking the right questions, introducing myself properly, not sounding stuffy, actually sounding very personable. And that agent is now at ease. Okay. Now also, I can bring up
the thing, Pace. Sorry to cut you off. Don't sound like a salesperson. You are a buyer. You don't sell them. Why are you selling them?
That is a good point. Hi, my name is Pace, and I'm calling from such and such real estate investments company, and we're over on 12388 blah 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 blah. And I'm wondering, guys, sounds like you're calling on a script. Immediately they've checked out. Okay, act aloof and funny and charismatic. Okay, this is the problem. A lot of people, they haven't learned the ability to connect with other human beings, and so if you haven't learned to connect with other human beings, then just say, I'm a buyer, and then use transactional funding up until the point where you go, man, I'm really good on the phones. I can build relationships. I've had enough practice. So it's two different conversations. In the very beginning of your journey, the first year, maybe year and a half, tell people you're a buyer and just double close. Okay. Or partner with somebody who is a buyer and they are your buyer. You're good. When you get to a point, you could do a challenge. Every agent I talk to, if I told the agent, yeah, you know what? I wholesale half the deals I do. Kind of just depends on what I have going on that week. I will promise you, and I will bet you $5,000 that I will not run into an agent that will ever tell me. And yes, I'm being cocky because I deserve it. I earned it. I put in the 10 years of hard work. I am being cocky. An agent will never tell me they don't like me wholesaling a deal because I built the rapport properly. So if you're like, shucks, I haven't learned the art of negotiation, then tell them you're a buyer and use transactional funding. It's basically the same strategy, just depends on the phase of the business that you're in. Jamil, what are your thoughts on this?
You're 100% right. There's nothing to add to that, bro. It is your training wheels, right? That's exactly what it is. call yourself an investor, close on the deal, either through a double close or transactional funding. It's going to cost you a little bit more money, but you're in training wheels. You don't got to worry about it. You don't got to worry about the wholesale word. You don't even got to say it. It's never even going to show up on the HUD. It's two completely different transactions. They're irrespective of each other. So be the buyer. And until then, until you've got your bearings and you understand how to go, keep the training wheels on. And when it's time, remove them.
The training wheels cost extra, guys. It does cost you a little bit of money. You don't just buy the bike and the training wheels come for free. The training wheels, transactional lending, double closing is going to cost you a little bit. But guess what? You're on the road. You got forward momentum. That's the important part about the transactional lending. Hey, guys, I brought Daniel Quijano on here today because I heard today that Jerry Norton committed to the Closers Octagon to actually compete, not to actually be a judge.
What?
Yep. Yeah, it was surprising because I reached out asking him about being a judge, and he's like, I kind of want to compete. And I think that when you bring, I mean, if you think of OGs in this space, there aren't many people that can measure up to Jerry. So I think it would be fantastic if we can get him committed to that.
Tell everybody what the Closers Octagon is and how it differs from the Closers Olympics, and when is this happening, by the way?
Yeah, so a lot of you guys.
It's not rigged. Sorry.
Here's the thing, right? A lot of you guys know I've been in sub 2 3 and some change years now, and I've been doing these competitions inside of the community for a very long time. Brent, you remember, was it about 3 years ago now? You were a judge in one of those internal competitions well before I was a part of the Closers Olympics or anything like that. And shout out to the Closers Olympics. I think they've done a lot for some new people in the industry. But, when I look at this, being in sales as long as I have, coaching sales over 20 years now, I just recognized some opportunities that I wanted to fill. And Pace always was like, dude, we got it. Why don't you just take the competition you've been doing in sub 2 and just make it bigger? So that's what we decided to do. And we did like open tryouts. This particular round, it's just sub 2 students competing. So we had open tryouts. Anybody who wanted to try out could try out last month. This month is round 2. And we're getting the top 8 competitors to get the right scores because the top 8 make it to Arizona where they'll be competing with people. Pace Morby, rumor has it, you were one of the first people to put your name in the hat to show people what you're working with in the sales department. Rumor has it. I don't know. And now it's potentially Pace Morby and Jerry Norton standing on stage demonstrating why they are who they are in this industry. So it's been really exciting. We're doing round 2 right now. We're doing it Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Main event, February 9th in Arizona live. And we have
something like 400 community members flying in for this, by the way. It should be super legit. How do people watch it? That's the question.
So obviously, if you're in sub 2, we got the whole thing that's going on, and they're able to watch those things. Who will be streaming that. For everybody else, we're going to actually be doing a live stream thing. Let me see if I can just share the link. Closes Octagon. I'll send this to you guys. I don't know where to send this.
I don't know how to spell Octagon.
Dan, is this like WWE versus UFC? Like you and Closers Olympics? Is this what we're trying to do? Are we trying to like because WWE is great, right? It's great. But we're actually gonna it's real stakes now. So it's not just gonna be RJ again.
Are you saying that the WWE is
fake?
What is that? Well, it's not fake.
Fixed.
It's
rigged.
The outcome is predetermined.
I have no idea. What did I say?
And you're saying that this is more like what Daniel is
real.
Talking about is
true. Honest.
Actual
fighting.
Okay. Yeah. Got it. Actual competition.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm qualified to answer those questions. Those are advanced questions that I have not reached the skill level to assess.
Doesn't Daniel the Q mean Daniel the qualified? Sorry, but
rumor has it. I appreciate you, Jamil. I mean, here's the thing. I hope
that doesn't make it into a reel. If it does, tag Elijah.
Well, here's where we want to do this different, right? This is where we want to do this differently because
I don't know.
Like 30 minutes to try to lock up an old lady at an ARV that was kind of thrown together. I get it for the sake of the competition, but that's just not how this business works. So what we want to do day of is every single person has an entire day to make calls, the whole day. And finding enough judges to be able to fill this in is going to be interesting. But the way I'm thinking about doing it is we'll have a judge per person and then they'll rotate. So let's say hypothetically, Jamil, if you were a judge, you'd be spending 30 minutes or an hour watching pace, and then you're going to somebody else, then you're going to somebody else, and everybody's rotating. And then at the end of the day, you guys are accumulating their scores, and they'll get scored not only on what they did in those conversations and on their skill set in deployment, but also in what they're able to do with the deal. And at that point, we'll have actual people there comping deals live. So if a contract gets sent, you're not just going to get graded on the deal that you got sent. You're going to get graded on the likelihood of that deal closing and scored negatively if that's not a real deal.
Right.
Yeah,
So
I mean, that is a big part of the Closers
where
Olympics.
he left the WWE and went to UFC. Are you going to invite RJ?
I would. So if we invite RJ, what is RJ doing? Is RJ commentating on this thing? Like what role should an RJ play?
You've got to invite the WWE heavyweight champion to come and fight in the UFC if he wants to maintain holding on to his belt, right? I mean,
interesting.
Don't you have to? I would imagine.
I think he'd love it.
I think he'd love it too.
I think he'd love it.
Yeah.
Have you reached out to him?
I have not reached out to him yet.
I actually told Quijano to not reach out to RJ today.
Because it's sub 2 only this time?
No, I was just like, this is a different competition. Why not let the person win this competition and then maybe go to RJ and say, hey, this person won this. It's like you don't have RJ compete in this thing. RJ is the top of the heap on the other side. You wait till the person becomes the top of the heap here, and then
we have WrestleMania,
a battle
like
royale.
AFC versus NFC.
Yeah, I get it.
There you go.
I like I like where you're going with this, bro.
We're building this thing up.
Yeah, let's get it.
Is that a TikTok lamp behind you?
What's that?
Is that a TikTok lamp behind you?
It is a TikTok lamp. Somebody on my team sent that to
follow you.
They can. I think it's Daniel.theq. I'm probably more active on Instagram, which is this thing right here.
Okay.
Look at that. There he is, the flipping master himself. I don't know.
Here's the thing. It depends on what we're doing, right? My wife, just so you guys know, she has a secret crush on Jerry Norton's seller, not his seller calls, his agent calls. She loves him. I walk in the house the other day. She's listening to Jerry Norton on the phone with an agent as she's cleaning and doing things around the kitchen. I'm like, dude, come on. Like, give me some credit here. All right. Jerry Norton is one of the best of the best. I still learn from Jerry. In fact, shout out to Jerry this morning. I sent him 4 or 5 voice memos back and forth, like collaborating on an idea. And I'm so grateful to have friends like Brent and Jamil and Jerry. And Jerry, the fact that Jerry's like, yeah, I want to compete. Dan, did Jerry say that he would fly out from Iguana Land to Arizona for this competition, or is he going to do it live? I
don't know that he said that. I think him and the Iguanas are going to close deals remotely is the impression that I have at this point. So here's another thing, Pace. I'm thinking, Jerry sparked an idea. Maybe following corner, this is the direct to seller. Maybe the next quarter, we do a Closers Octagon #2, all direct to agent.
If you do direct to seller, where are the leads coming from?
That's the next thing we got to figure out. I'm thinking one of two things. One, we can go to the communities, any of the communities who have active leads that are struggling closing. #2, find a good PPC, PPL people that are producing volume, that are quality. I'm thinking one of those 2 areas is where we could go for those leads.
Man, give me expired listings. Let me make calls to expired listings all day long. I'll clean the house all day long.
You're going to clean house regardless.
I'll just buy the deals. Like I'll just prove to you they're great deals by actually closing on all of them and just putting them in the portfolio. It's a simple task. The challenge, and what I love about your strategy, the strategy of the Closers Octagon, the challenge of the Closers Olympics is that we don't get to see these deals actually close. And as I'm comping them, I'm looking at the deals. I'm like, that's not a deal. Like,
not a deal.
Just because you got a contract does not mean that's a deal. You got some of these contracts they got are like overpaying $50,000-$60,000.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy to get someone to sign to that, right? Like who wouldn't at that point? So here's the question, right? Pace, you don't know this, but for the last 2 months, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we got 150 people for 3-4 hours sitting in the nightly dial, just getting reps in to try to compete against you and now Jerry Norton, right? So
dude, I better get in there. I haven't been getting my reps in.
I mean, there's some pretty good people. We had a girl in there. Her name's Caroline Vo, sub 2 student, fairly new. She was super sick today, and she came to work, man. Some of these people are really taking this seriously.
Are all the reps everybody's putting into the nightly diet, are they all direct to seller calls?
Yeah, so what we're doing for round 2, we're switching this up. Round 1 was you had to bring live calls, and we graded your live calls to be able to make sure you're making calls. That's how you get in round 2. Round 2 is role play. And the reason we're doing role play is because we're throwing random stuff at you that you would not expect. So that way we see how you act in completely unexpected circumstances. And you only got 6 minutes. So you have 6 minutes to accomplish this set of criteria, and it's tough. And so if you can handle those things, the idea is you got to deserve to stand next to a Pace and a Jerry, right? So we're putting these really weird scenarios thrown at them. And then whoever makes top 8 are the ones that get advanced to be able to come out.
Beautiful. I love it. I love everything about it. It's great.
So
I'll judge. Call me up when it's time. I'll judge. Can I judge these jabronis?
Please judge the jabronis. I was trying to get Brent, but Brent's like really famous and popular, and so his schedule was booked. His assistant was like, "No,
it's like all Friday."
When?
You know
what date? When?
The
February 9th.
February.
Oh, let me see if I can do it.
February 9th.
That's pretty soon. Damn it.
It is. It's a couple weeks down the road. But guys, if you guys are not a part of these communities and you guys are like trying to learn how to get good at having conversations,
we can do it after 2:30.
Right.
Okay. If you can do it, I'll make the rest of it work, Jamil. Seriously.
Okay.
We'll figure it out. Vina, if you guys go to the website, closersoctagon.com, Vina Jetty's committed to be one of the judges that day. If you're able to be there for a portion of the day, Jamil, we'll go ahead and take that. If Brent, something clears up for you,
let me know. Bro. Okay. I could get there a portion of the day, but it'll be the afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, if you
let me cancel one of these podcasts. I got 2 podcasts, but I might be able to cancel. But take it noon on. I'm yours, bro.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, guys.
Jerry makes a good point right here. I think the Closers Olympics would be really perfect in a lot of ways if they had a dispo day to take those deals.
They do on
Monday.
They
do?
Yeah,
but it's like a bonus day after they've already awarded the winner.
They sold it like 5 or 6 deals.
But they've already awarded the winner, right?
Yeah,
before that day.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying is like wait until the deal's closed and then give the crown.
And then get the final. Interesting.
Brent, I wasn't part of it. I didn't watch the dispo day. Did the dispo day change the way that the crown was given?
Jerry ran it, bro. Jerry was in it with the guys from Investor Lift.
Yeah, so we were in Montana when they did that, I think.
Let's see here. So I wonder if I can get Jerry on here for 1 minute. Are you guys good to hang out for one more minute?
Yeah,
you want to tell the story that Jerry sent us real quick before you get him on here? Remember the news article he sent us?
Oh my gosh, yes. Tell that story. That's crazy.
About the fact that he was a transactional funder on a deal, and I don't know we'll have to get Jerry on here.
Let Jerry tell it. Yeah.
But okay.
Let's just let him tell it.
This is bananas.
Is he available? Where are you at?
I just sent him a text. I gave him the link. So let's see if he comes on here. I just gave him the StreamYard link. So Quijano, as he's coming in here, trickling in here, give us the link, the date, the information one more time before we get Jerry in here.
Yeah, closersoctagon.com. It's not linking in the chat. I put it in the private chat. I don't know if you guys want to put it so people can click it. For anybody who wants to watch, if you guys want to get good at sales, you want to learn all of the things and see some of these guys at work, it's $99. It'll probably go up closer to the day, but we just want to provide a good experience and really let you guys be a part of what makes these communities special. Guys, there's a reason why Wholesale Hotline is, in my opinion, without question, the undisputed #1 podcast in real estate. There's a reason why these guys are the #1 names in real estate. When I got into real estate, like the only people that you really knew was Max Maxwell. That was it. There was not a lot of information out there. Then you saw Steve Trang. I think there's a reason you guys take over is because the way you guys do things on every single level is different. And for me, when I decided to do a competition, the purpose of this was to highlight that. My coaching program and all these things only exist because of Pace and the things that he's established in this community. This is our way of paying this forward and giving other people the opportunity to participate. So guys, feel free to check it out. Shoot me a message if you got questions.
Well done, bro.
Thanks, Quijano. Guys, if you're gonna have a spinny wheel, Jerry, it better be an iguana.
Oh, he's in the car. Look at him. Jerry.
Is Anne-Marie driving right now?
I'm in Montana still.
What? I thought you were supposed to be gone, dude.
Jerry hasn't had electricity for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's because Josh had surgery on his tonsils and then he had them bust open, so we had to re-cauterize his throat. So we had to stay longer.
Jerry, tell us the story about this deal that you were a Gator lender on.
Dude. Okay, so hoarder house cash buyer. The first cash buyer does a walkthrough the day of closing. So I fund the first transaction. Cash buyer backs out at the last second. Luckily, we found a new cash buyer. They didn't care about what happened, and they closed like a few days later, so it all worked out. But they're doing a walkthrough, a chest freezer in the basement. They open it up, and they find a chopped off head and a pair of hands. Human chopped off head and hands.
He was texting.
Was it a male or a female?
Brent.
Jerry, male or
He
female?
was texting Brent, Jamil, and me, and he was like, "Guys, should I do a YouTube video about this? If so, what do you think we should name the video?"
Can you read the all of the title, all of the titles? They're so good.
Yeah, I got a whole.
My title was so good. This was my title. My title was "How to Get Ahead in Real Estate." Oh my gosh, dude.
Stop while you're ahead. How to cut your competition and stay ahead. The headaches of real estate.
Oh my gosh. How to get ahead in real estate. Oh my gosh.
So it's under federal investigation and stuff, right? Obviously. And here's what's nuts. So the seller was a widow living there with her son, and the husband passed in like 2021. Nothing sketchy going on there. So I don't know. I have no idea.
I can't
That's
wait
interesting
till they figure out who it was.
Yeah.
Like,
but I'm wondering, hey, will you guys head over there with me and give me a hand?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Jerry, is Anne-Marie driving you right now?
No, Johnny's driving.
What up, Johnny? Is Johnny getting married soon too?
No, heck no. He might wait for that for a bit.
Okay, he might be the one Jerry Norton son that actually waits a couple of weeks. Jerry's got his son has got a newly engaged son that got engaged 2-3 weeks ago. Walked out on the frozen lake and said, "Will you marry me?" Wrote it on the frozen lake.
Yeah.
Ring that bell.
You only have 8 more kids until all of your kids are married.
Deal.
Yeah, one more down. That's right.
Jerry, are you going to come and hang out either as a judge or a participant in this thing? Are you going to come in down to Arizona? Are you going to be in?
I don't know. I'm waiting for Dan to like sweeten the deal or something. You know, like do I get to hang out with like Jamil and Brent too, and Pace, and do I get to see the baby and Laura? I mean, I don't know.
We'd love that. Bring Anne-Marie though. She's cooler than you.
I know she is. It would be more fun there, wouldn't it?
It would be more fun here. We do have an event space that we rented out for. It would be more fun here if you can make it down here. It'd be a blast. However you want to be participating. But sadly, you got to go check into your island to make sure you put in the dates, right?
Yeah, for sure.
How long have you owned Puerto Rico, Jerry?
I don't own it, but I've been there 3 years.
Wow, that flew by.
He has been there. Coming on this summer, he has been there 3 freaking years. Oh my gosh.
3 years. Yeah.
Jerry also, every time he texts me like once a week or so, he's like, "Hey, I got a new build going up right now." Dude, this dude is building like multiple luxury homes out there on the ocean. Are you going to be able to even move away from Puerto Rico in a couple of years?
Well, I mean, I want to stay. Emery's not super crazy about it, so I don't know. We'll see. We've met our minimum requirement. You have to be there at least 3 years. So, but I got a lot right next to Pace, so it's very tempting to come back.
Yeah, I run by it a couple of times a week, and I give you guys updates on your frozen pipes and all that kind of stuff. It's great.
Yeah,
Jerry had to go to my Montana house a couple of days ago because my pipes did freeze. It was negative 30 degrees in Kalispell the other day.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So crazy. Jerry, we
Fun
freaking love
stuff.
you, man. Thank you so much for everything you do for the whole community.
Thanks, Jerry.
Everybody,
I got
this
one
is
more for you
Jerry
before you
Norton.
go.
Yep.
Real estate investors get head. Okay, that's I'm done.
Jerry's like, I'm out. I'm out. Hey, Quijano, we'll see you at the Closers Octagon next week. Actually, is it next week or is it in 2 weeks?
2 weeks, February 9th. So I think it's like 2 and some change.
Okay, dope. I'll message you about it later, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Wholesale hotline 203.
You want to take us home, Brent Daniels?
Yeah. What? Any events coming on this week?
No.
Pace?
Nope.
I'm doing
I'm
an
home.
action workshop noon Eastern time till 3:00, making calls, cold calls to property owners personally. It's going to be awesome.
Love it.
So check Instagram for that. There you go. We love you guys. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Later.
Or just say squat up.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
What are you doing?
I didn't say nothing.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Cool. I think we should use the one where Jamil doesn't say anything.